everyone, welcome back to my channel. Before you carry on to this video, pause this video, pause it right now and write in the comments down below what side you think is high-end and what side you think is drugstore, because I want you to guess. It is so similar, this look. Like, if I saw someone with this makeup look, I wouldn't know that it was half different. So write in the comments right now what side you think is high-end and drugstore. So anyway, let's begin on this video, shall we? Before I jump into it, the main purpose of this video and why I wanted to film it is because you really don't need to spend all this money on so much makeup, because they're all probably made in the same factory, just in different packaging. So you don't need to spend loads of money on makeup if you can't afford it. But if you do want to branch out and get more higher end makeup, then definitely do so. But I think some things you really don't need to. It just depends on your personal preference and how much money you want to spend, if that makes any sense. So yeah. Anyway, if you want to know how to create this makeup look on either side, and if you want to know what side I used for drugstore and high-end, then please keep watching. So I have done my eyebrows. I mean, obviously, I did not wake up with my eyebrows looking like this. I want to get them feather browed because I think that would be so much easier. But anyway, the reason that I didn't film them is because I'm going to do an in-depth video on them really soon. So that's literally the reason why I didn't film them. I know I keep saying I'm going to do it soon, but I promise you I'm going to do it soon. Like probably this week or next week. We'll see. So yeah. Anyway, this side of my face I'm going to do drugstore, and then this side of my face I'm going to do high-end. So to prime my face on the drugstore side, I'm going to use the Flawless Colour Correcting Primer from Barry M. I haven't used this in a while actually. Oh, that's probably quite a lot. Whoops. I'm sorry if you can hear running on the floor. That's Lottie, aka my puppy. And she's just a little bit hyper. It is a really good primer and it's just so fresh. And then for this side of my face, I'm going to use the Professional Primer from Barry M from Benefit. This is so small. It's so cute. I love this primer. I have got a bigger one, but I thought for this video, look how cute it is. I got it in a set and I love it. I used to use this primer all the time, so this is probably one of my holy grail primers. So I'm just going to blend that in with my fingers as well. I feel like with primer, I always have to blend them in with my fingers. I don't know why. I feel like I need to push it into my skin. So for foundation on the drugstore side, I'm going to use this L'Oreal True Match in the shade Golden Beige 3W. And I'm just going to pop, how many pumps? 1.5 pumps. Let's do 1.5. And then I'm just going to use this Carity F26 brush. Oh my god, look at the colour difference. I mean, my face is just so pale in the winter. It does my head in. For the high-end foundation, I'm going to be using the Urban Decay All Nighter foundation in the shade 6. Now this is, I think, a couple of shades too dark for me, but it is a really good foundation. It is a lot more, where's my brush? It is a lot more matte than the True Match one. I love it. Another thing, it does oxidize a lot, and you'll see what I mean. So you can see it's really light, and then I'll blend it in and then it just goes so dark. Although it's a really good foundation. So you can see this colour's a little bit more pinky, and then this one's got more of oranger tone. So the coverage on the All Nighter foundation is a lot more full coverage than the True Match. I would say I use the True Match one on an everyday basis because it's so easy to blend and it's just one of my favourite drugstore ones. So on an everyday basis, it's just easy to use and I don't feel like I'm wasting loads of money. But for more if I'm going to events or nights out, or if I just want a fuller coverage, then I would 100% use the All Nighter one because this is amazing. It does oxidize. If you don't know what that means, it means it gets darker as the oxygen gets to it and as you blend it into your face. Although I do really like it. I would say go a shade lighter in the All Nighter foundation, because when you first put it on, I was like, oh my god, it's so light. And then when you blend it in, you're like, whoa. So it just depends really. So with that one, make sure you try it out in the shop before you actually buy it yourself. The next product I'm going to use for concealer on this side, which is the Drugstore, is the Bourjois Healthy Mix concealer. Just going to use a few little blobs. So I know I usually show you the products up close so you can see them, but for this video it's going to take me ages, so I just thought I would leave them in the description below. I always leave the products I use in the description below anyway, so make sure you always check there. So you can see what a difference concealer makes, especially for me. That concealer is amazing. I really, really recommend it. And then for the high-end side, I'm going to use the Naked Skin Concealer by Urban Decay. I'm in the shade Light Neutral. So this is definitely one of my favourite at the moment. Oh, I love it. It's such a good concealer. I'm just going to put loads on because why not? And then I'm going to clean my beauty blender and then just blend it in. So you can see the difference. I would say this one, I don't know why. I think I put more on this side, but it looks a lot brighter than this side. I definitely did put a lot more on because I did apply a lot. Although I think the coverage of them is very, very similar and I do love them. Although this one at the moment, on this side, the Naked Skin, is my favourite concealer at the moment. Sometimes I do mix them together because you just, why not? Why not? So to set the powder in place on this side, I'm going to be using this Revolution HD Pro Sculpt and Contour Kit, which is a powdered contour. And I'm going to grab this banana shade here because I feel like it just brightens your eyes. And then lightly pat that on. And then for this side, I'm going to use the Tailor Blue Contour Kit from Hot Mess. And I'm going to grab shade 2. I don't know if this is high end. I think it is. I would say it is. I mean, you can't get it in the drugstore, so I would definitely say the Tailor Blue Contour Kit from Hot Mess is a lot more pigmented than the Revolution one. And the powders just feel really creamy. It's so weird to say that a powder's creamy, but it is. Once you try it, you'll be like, oh, okay. So I'm just popping that everywhere where I applied my concealer. So moving on to powder. For the Drugstore side, I'm going to use this Rimmel Stay Matte. This is in the shade Transparent, and I'm just going to lightly dust that on my face. And then for this side, I'm going to use this Laura Mercier translucent powder. It is very pigmented, so I'm not going to use too much. I'm literally going to use everything left, which is on the lid. And it is transparent as well, so I suppose it's basically really similar to the Rimmel Stay Matte because that's transparent as well. And you can use them both for baking. They're definitely my two favourite like go-to powders. To bronze up my face, I'm going to go back with the Revolution, what is it? The Sculpt and Contour Kit. And I'm going to mix these two shades together, if you can see. And I'm just going to contour and bronze up my face. It's annoying this doesn't have a mirror. Every time I use it, I look through it as if it's got a mirror. So annoying. So the colours aren't like too pigmented in my opinion. I mean, they are pigmented of course, but they're not like, whoa. And then to bronze and contour on the high-end side, I'm going to use the, oh, my voice went. I'm going to go back with the Tailor Blue Contour Kit and mix shades, what ones? 5 and 6 together actually. So then to sort of bake under here and just neaten it all up, I'm going to go in with the Rimmel Stay Matte. And what I'm going to do is gently just break some off. This is what I like to do. This is why I hit the pan in literally every single powder I get from Rimmel. And I'm going to get a brush, put a generous amount on, suck in my cheeks, and then I'm just going to follow on where I want to sharpen up. And then I'm also going to use on the high end side the Laura Mercier one, which I now know to open upside down. So now I've left that on, all I'm going to do is gently sort of rub that off. I do find this side a lot harder to sort of rub off than the Laura Mercier one. I don't know why, I just do. Look, as you can see, like this one was a lot whiter when I put it on, but now this one has left sort of a mark onto my face. Oh well. So I'm going to move on to eyes now and then go back to the rest of my face because that's what I usually do. So to prime my eyes, I'm going to go back with the same concealers that I was using before. And I'm going to set that with the Rimmel Stay Matte Powder. And then this side, I'm going to go back with the same concealer I was using, which is the Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer. And then I'm going to set that with the Laura Mercier Translucent Powder. So now that is done, for eyeshadow, I think these two are so similar. It's a joke. So similar. So to start off, I'm going to use the MUA palette and I'm going to grab the shade. Oh, I can't see it. It's basically just this first one here, and I always like to use a lighter colour to sort of use it as a base for my eyeshadow. So I'm just going to mainly focus this on my lid and then drag the colour upwards. And then for the high end side, I'm going to use the shade Foxy, which is just the first shade in it as well. And I'm going to do exactly the same thing. So now I'm going to grab the third colour in. I'm just going to use like a pointy brush. And I'm going to pop this on my tear duct and then my brow bone. And then I'm going to grab the third colour in as well. And I'm going to do the same thing. So for my eyes, I thought I would create just a smoky, like purpley, glittery sort of look. So I'm going to go with this shade here, as you can see, just with the really thick, fat brush. And I'm going to lightly just pop that onto my crease. I mean, this colour isn't the most pigmented colour I've used, but it's definitely like getting there. You just got to use quite a lot of the product. And then I'm just going to blend that out with an angle blending brush. And then for this side, I'm going to use the shade Tease, which is this one here. They're so similar, it's a joke. And I'm going to use the same brush, but I have wiped all the excess off from the product I was using before. And I'm literally just going to do the same thing. And then I'm just going to blend it out again with my angle blending brush. I'm going to use this shade here, which is sort of a really glittery rose gold. And I wanted to use a glitter because I wanted to show the difference in high-end and then drugstore, just so you guys know. I just wanted to sort of get an overall, like, sort of makeup look. So I'm going to pop this, like, on my lid. It is so, once you like apply quite a lot, it is quite pigmented. I'm actually really impressed with that. And then for this eye, I'm going to do the same thing, but use this shade here. I love this. I feel like this one's got some sparkles in it as well, which makes it a lot more prettier in a way. This one is a lot more pigmented. I literally used one sort of sweep. You can just see already that it's just a lot more better, like the glitter. And then for under my eyes, I'm going to go back with this colour I was using before, with a little bit of a smaller brush. And I'm just going to lightly pop that underneath. And then I'm going to clean my brush, and then I'm going to go back with the shade Tease, and then just do the same thing underneath my eyes. And then what I'm going to do is go in with this shade here, which is just a darker sort of colour to that one. And I'm going to directly pop this onto the outer V. And then follow that up onto my crease. I have definitely got some fallout from that colour, but it's alright, we can clean it up. And then I'm going to go with this shade here, which is called Busted at the end, if you can see. I've cleaned my brush, don't worry guys, and I'm just going to go in and do the same thing on this side. So I realised I don't actually have any high-end eyeliner, so I'm just going to use this Miss Sporty one on both. I'm not going to do a wing, I'm just going to line my eyes before I apply the lashes and mascara, because I feel like it just blends in a lot nicer. I don't know why, I should have bought one. I thought I did have one, but I don't know where it's gone. So I'm just going to line my eyes. I'm not going to do a wing, you'll just see. So once I've done that, I'm going to move on to mascara. For the Drugstore side, I'm going to use the Volume Million Lashes by L'Oreal. And then for the high-end side, I'm going to use the Perversion Urban Decay mascara, which is amazing. Just saying, so good. Gonna zoom you in. So before I apply falsies, I wanted to show you the difference. This is the Perversion one from Urban Decay, and then this is the Volume Million Lashes, that's what it's called. So you can see there isn't too much of a difference. I would say this one is a little bit better. It's probably my go-to at the moment, but it is like the difference that isn't that much difference. That's what I'm trying to say. So what I'm going to do now is go on to blush. I mean blush. So for the Drugstore side, I'm going to use this one from Kiko. Now I know Kiko isn't really in the Drugstore, but it's Drugstore price, and this was so similar to the Sigma one that I'm going to be using on this side. So I thought I would just use it. So this is the Kiko 110 blush. It is so pigmented. It's so pigmented. So you really don't need a lot. Like, tap as much up as you can. And just smile and then blend it. I was about to do that then. And then blend it in onto your contour as well. For the high-end side, I'm going to use this Sigma one called De Rosa Arruga Powder. I mean, it is more peachy, the colour. But I thought in terms of the formula, they're really, really similar. Moving on to highlighter, which is one of my faves. I'm going to use, for the Drugstore, this sleek one, which you guys know I've been loving at the moment. I'm going to mix these two shades together. So I'm going to put this one on first. I do feel like this bronzer is a bit muddy, but oh well. And then I'm going to go in with the bottom right shade. And then for the high-end side, I'm going to use this Urban Decay Naked one. I'm going to wipe off the excess that was on that brush. And I'm just going to mix these two shades together. Now for the fun part. For lips, I'm going to use on this side the Rimmel Cappuccino Lip Liner and the NYX Liquid Lipstick. So I'm just going to pop some lip balm on my lips, just all of it, because that's what I do before I apply any lip product. So I'll just blend that in, just so it doesn't go all patchy and it's not too dry. This looks so funny. Woo, I look so scary. And then for this side, I'm going to use the Kylie Jenner lip kit in the shade Moon, which is probably my go-to lips at the moment. This definitely has a more purple tone to it, and it is a little bit lighter. Although I do think they're literally so similar. So if you can't get your hands on the Kylie Jenner one, then you can just purchase the Rimmel Cappuccino lip liner and the NYX lipstick, liquid lipstick in the shade 1. Now, for the last part, I'm going to set all this makeup in place. For the Drugstore side, I'm going to use the Revolution Pro Fix setting spray. I'm going to just do this on half of my face. And then for the high-end side, I'm going to use this Urban Decay All-Nighter setting spray, which is just amazing. I've literally used all of Urban Decay makeup today. It's just amazing, I can't help it. So I'm going to do the same thing. So everyone, this is the final result. I hope you have enjoyed this video and you have found it informative. I think the main conclusion of this whole video is that it just goes to show that you really don't need to spend all this money on high-end makeup, because if you can't afford it, or if it's not in your price range or anything like that really, then you don't need to spend all of that money on high-end products. Although I think some of them, obviously you're getting what you pay for, the quality of them are a lot better in other ways, but in terms of this makeup look and the products that I use today, literally there's just not a lot of difference at all. So anyway, I hope you have enjoyed this video and you have found it informative, like I said. If you have, then please give it a thumbs up, and also subscribe if you're new to my channel. Oh my god, we are so close to 200,000 subscribers. What? It just feels like the other day when I hit 100,000. It is so crazy. So I just want to say a big thank you for all of your support. It means the world to me. It's just amazing, and I love each and every one of you. So thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye!